Hey YouTube, this is Pamela, and this is part 2 of my art journal flip. Now this isn't exactly a journal, but it is an art flip. Quick recap, the first, I have a bunch to show you here, and part 1 showed you these. So just a quick recap, I do my art on Pendaflex folders, and the reason for that is because I basically make journals out of these, journals and wallets, junk journals, art journals, notebooks. So I have YouTube videos for these, and I will put links below for those. And I'll also put a link for part 1 below. So do look for that, and you may want to look at part 1 first. So we ended up with this one in part 1. And next in line is this particular one. It really definitely needs to be seen close up. A lot of my, again, I mentioned in part 1, I'm going to reiterate a few things in part 2 here. A lot of my art is meant to be seen close up. And well, rightly so. I mean, you know, you usually don't look at a wallet from far away. So there's lots and lots of texture and a lot of subtle combination of colors. And this one I just call, you know, flower garden pansies or something very, very colorful. And the lavender in the background is really very complimentary, I think. So this one is way off the map. I've really never done one like this before. I tend not to use such bright, stark colors. Some of my best items here have the colors actually muted, and I mentioned some of those techniques excuse me, in the first part. Essentially what I do is I do a painting, and then it's like this, and very bright, and I take a very thin coating of homemade gesso that I make from Elmer's glue, latex wall paint, and joint compound, and I put it over, extremely thin. I put it over, and then I wipe away, and it has an effect that I like. But this one I kept. It's in some ways, hate to say it, is my little joke. It's just funny. It's fun, and it does evoke peonies, I believe. And I use some stark colors here. The green, I would normally not use a green like that, but yellow, I think it sort of redeems it in composition. So it's definitely worth more than the sum of its parts. We hope so, with art in general. Okay, so this is also off the map. Don't do ones like this. I used an extremely coarse sponge, a very cheap sponge I bought, not like the cosmetic sponges, and they gave this kind of effect. And I kept it. It might be one that I would have covered over. I do that a lot. I do that a lot as a technique, and just because I can't stand what I did. So this to me evokes wool skirt, little girl's wool skirt, maybe one that I had when I was a little girl. Okay, this one is one I did yesterday, and I just don't know what to do with it. It is not typical for me. It would be one. I have been covering it over and kind of redeeming it and helping it out, and it's a little bit chaotic, more chaotic than I like in my art. I like, you know, I like to keep things simple. This is, I guess you would call it a bit busy, but I'm going to keep it, you know. It's sort of two paintings in one. There's this green kind of motif here, and then there are these guys. So I don't know if they're fighting each other, but the colors evoke fall, and it is now early August or mid-August, and in 2014, and you know, fall is on its way. So we'll be prepared with this painting. Haha. Okay, next one, again, one I don't really love. It was a painting I did not like, down below. Covered it up with gesso, but let it sort of show through. And then I says, what am I going to do with this? And so sometimes I get ruthless. And what am I going to do with this? I hope I'm sort of articulating the feelings of other artists out there. You know, what's going on in your head when you're painting, and it's to me it's so fascinating because this hobby is so new to me, and I literally, I mean, I've gone, you know, I dare say 59 years not doing things like this, and well, I should tell you why it all happened. I have a lot of papers that I wanted to scrapbook, and so I looked up scrapbook on YouTube, and the next thing I knew, I entered a world. And I watched many videos, and I discovered there's something called an art journal. And I saw some videos, namely Jenny Belly. She is really my inspiration, and I'll put a link to her website below. She's incredible. She's just godlike in my mind. She was the one who inspired me, because what she basically did was tell me that I don't kind of have to be an artist that draws graphic things, but I can implement techniques and kind of get by. So I'll admit that's where I'm at. And as I'm speaking and flipping through, the following are really totally not my favorites. They're totally not. None of these are my favorites. Maybe this is the best one. Interesting colors here. This one is nothing to write home about. Is nothing really dynamic about it. It's pleasant, I would call it that. And it was part of my development in perfecting my techniques. This one is one that I totally should just cover up. I should just do the gesso technique, cover it up, and do something else, make it nice. But I'm keeping it. This is my dark painting. Everyone should have a dark painting. I see these red strips representing blood, and it is sort of a nod, hats off to you know, the all the aspects of life, and it's not always meadows full of pansies or peonies or roses. There are dark sides in this world. So this one is my recognition of that. Okay, here's a painting, and I know other artists will relate to this. Is a painting that I thought was just knocked my socks off. It was just my favorite painting. And look at this, it's way down below. I sort of had to see part one for the good video, the good art, my opinion. And this one is way down at the bottom. I do like the colors. I still love the colors, the color combination here. I see this pink. I was sort of going for this pink color because it's sort of a retro kind of poodle skirt from the 1950s, you know, or something that's faded, or something, as the word is out there, distressed, and shabby chic, a little bit shabby chic, right? So I'm not going to cover it up, and I'm going to keep it just for the purpose to remind me that you can change your mind about a painting. An artist can change her mind about a painting. This one just sort of was one big fat mistake, and it got muddy, but it has redeeming aspects to it. It was sort of minimalist here. It looks like a baseball field. That's what I'm going to call it. Baseball field. It looks like maybe the dirt and a little bit of grass. I don't know what the red represents really, but this one again is one that I just thought was so awesome, and now I don't like it at all. I don't like the shape of the blobs, the blotches. This is definitely a candidate for, you know, being gessoed over and redeemed. But you know, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. Colors are kind of interesting, kind of nice. Again, I'm going to keep it just as a memory of that time in my early development. This one, nothing to write home about. Very, very subtle. Needs to be seen close up. This one needs to be cut up and made into a notebook or junk journal, art journal, or smash book or something. Wall it really fast. It's just not worthy of being intact like this. And finally, folks, thank you so much for watching. Please, love to hear your comments. Love if you share it with your friends, share these videos with your friends, and give me a thumbs up, you know, subscribe. This is Craft and Commentary, and again, thank you for watching. This last one is I call hot dog. I think that I'm going to name my art. The colors. I'm very, very, very sensitive to color. I know I got that from, I inherited that one. My mother and my father are both just color fiends. My father is a retired artist, and my mother just had impeccable talent at combining colors. Just so some of that just had to rub off on me. So people, this is Craft and Commentary, and this is Pamela Rice, art by Pamela Rice, and bye-bye.